Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome every student to this new lesson. And today we are going to take revision for Unit 3 and Unit 4. And the name of the course is Traveler 5. We're still in the first semester and we are targeting third secondary stage. Alright. What we will learn today, we are going to covering 5 things. Revise words related to crime, and also revise using past simple and past progressive, and also revise how to use prefix and suffix to form new words. At the end, we are going to revise how to make different forms of comparison. So we have 4 things we should cover them in this lesson. Revising words related to crime, and also using how to use past simple and past progressive. And the third thing is how to use prefix and suffix to form a new words. And the final thing, how to make different forms of comparison. Are you ready to move? Here we go with the warm-up page. And the question for you now, what kind of a crime does he commit? This is old man, and this is another guy who want to do something wrong. So what do you think he's doing? What kind of a crime does he commit? What do you think? We have different names for crime as we just take in the previous lessons. All right, now I want just to discuss with you the following questions, and also you can use some of the words and expressions on the right hand side. You can see it here, so you can use it, but after we understand the all point or even questions. Number 1, or the first statement, what do you think leads people to commit crimes like shoplifting or pickpocketing? Okay, and the other point, is there better to punish or try to reform a criminal? Is it better to punish or try to reform the criminal? What do you think is the best solution for the criminal? Punish or reform? And the third point, in your opinion, what are the advantages of having somebody who committed a crime do community service? All right, so what are the advantages of having somebody who committed a crime to community service? So you can use the word on the right hand side. Poverty, tempting, violate the law, danger, society, opposite, effect, opportunity to change, fair loss of freedom, minor crimes, pay a fine, benefit the community, set an example. Don't forget, you should speak once you want to give an answer for any of those points, or you can even for all of them. All right, and now we are in the examination practice, and your mission is just to choose the word or phrase that most appropriately completes the sentence. We have 6 sentences, and we have also 4 options for each sentence. Number 1, Fadi, his brother, for missing their flight to Rome. Accused, blame, charged, shouted. The robbers made their in fast sports car. Runaway, entrance, getaway, exit. And the third sentence, the police officer, the criminal's gun, arrested or even resist, or as arrested, seized or robbed. And the fourth sentence, the mystery of a Stonehenge is still to this day important, impossible, unsuitable, inexplicable. And the fifth option, the thieves with €1,000,000 made off, went through, held up, made up. And the final sentence, he couldn't with the deal, so he'd cancel it at the last minute, decide on, make off, pick out, go through. Your job is just to choose the most appropriate sentence, the most appropriate word for each sentence. Here we go with the right answers. So for number 1, blamed is the right answer. Number 2, get away is the right option. 3, sized is the right option. And number 4, D is inexplicable is the right word. And the right answer for number 5, made of. And the last sentence, D is the right option, go through. And also we have another exercise. Look at the following words from the text and choose the correct meaning. A, B, or C. Terrain, bushes, ground, tunnel, eluded, escaped, found, killed, coming to a halt, getting out, climbing, or even stopping, processed, proceed, continued, leave, or even speak. So your job is just to choose the correct meaning for each word. You have 3 options in the blue color for 4 words. Okay, terrain, B is the right option. Ground, eluded, escaped, coming to a halt is stopping, and proceed, the right option is continue. Well done for those who get the right meanings. And as you know, because this is a revision for Unit 3 and Unit 4, we are going to see more exercise. And in this exercise, we should read the definitions on the left-hand side and find the crime that corresponds to each of them. Okay, we have 6 sentences and we should find the name of the crime. We should write it here on the right-hand side. So I'm going to read for you now the 6 sentences. 13, to reveal something unless somebody does something you tell them to. Number 2, entering a building illegally and stealing things. And the third sentence, killing somebody. Number 4, taking somebody away by force and asking for money from his or even her relatives. The fifth option, or the fifth sentence, stealing something from somebody. 6, entering a person's computer and stealing information. What is the name of this crime? Entering a person's computer and stealing information. You should write the name of the crime here on the right-hand side for the 6 sentences. Okay, are you ready to see and check your answers? Here we go with the right answers. Threatening to reveal something unless somebody does something you tell them to. We called it blackmail. And entering a building illegally and stealing things, burglary. And third sentence, killing somebody, we called it murder. And taking somebody away by force and asking for money from his, even her relative, kidnapping. Stealing something from somebody, theft. And the last sentence, entering a person's computer and stealing information, we called it hacking. All right, and another exercise. Complete the text with past simple or past progressive of the verbs in the brackets. So we have verbs, you can see it here in the red color. So I'm going to read each sentence for you. While I drive to work, a traffic policeman stopped me and I not wear my seat belt. Number 2, when he be, and the verb is be, young, he get up early every morning, wash his face and have breakfast before he go to school. And the third sentence, my brother always get into trouble as a child. And the last sentence, Paul usually go fishing at weekends, but he later give up. So what your job now is just to put those verbs in the brackets in past simple or in past progressive. Okay? It's not difficult. Just look at the tenses, try to figure out the meaning of the sentence and choose the right tense. Here we go with the right answers. While I was driving to work, a traffic policeman stopped me because I wasn't wearing my seat belt. For the second sentence, when he was young, he got up early morning, washed his face, and had breakfast before he went to school. My brother was always getting, so you can choose both of them, into a trouble as a child. And the last sentence, Paul usually went fishing at weekends, but he later gave up. Now, complete the sentences using the correct form of the words in capital. We have able, possible, success, responsible, logical, and care. Despite their efforts, the scientists were to explain the phenomenon. And number two, she found it to keep to her diet, so she gave up after a couple of days. My brother is author. He has had several books published. Number four, it was of a Larry to drive so fast when it was raining because he could have caused an accident. And five, it was to spend so much on the pair of shoes that were so uncomfortable. And the sixth option, the forest fire was started by a group of teenagers who lit a campfire in the night. Now, your job is just to look for those words and to put them in the right sentence. Based on your previous knowledge, you should get the right answers. And here we go with the right answers. Complete the sentence, and I think most of you completed. So unable to is just the right form of the word, and impossible as well for number two, successful for number three, and responsible for number four, illogical for number five, and the last sentence, careless, is the right form of the word on the top of the exercise. Now it's time for the assessment, and your job is just to complete the sentences with comparative or superlative form of the adjectives in the brackets. Add the or than where necessary. So don't forget that you can add the or than where necessary. Preschool teaching is a lot, most people think, and the word demanding. The handbag is probably expensive accessory I bought last week. Today it is even, and the verb is warm, or the word is warm. It was yesterday. Far evidence was required before the police could charge him with the crime. My sister is much old me. That's silly excuse I have ever heard. So your job now is just to use the comparative and the superlative form of the adjectives. So all the adjectives on the brackets. Don't forget that you can add in the sentence the article that or even the word than. All right? Here we go with the right answers for each sentence. Preschool teaching is a lot more demanding than most people think. The handbag is probably the most expensive accessory I bought last week. Today it is even warmer than it was yesterday. Further evidence was required before the police could charge him with a crime. My sister is much older than me. And the last sentence, that's the silliest excuse I have ever heard. All right, what we have learned today, if you can remember, we start our lesson with speaking about what leads people commit a crime. And then we mentioned some of the crimes or the name of the crimes: blackmail, burglary, murder, kidnapping, and we give a definition for each. And also for the comparative and superlative, we use those in the previous just exercise, and also the comparison between past progressive and also simple past, and what is the difference between them, and can we use them in one sentence, and we can use them as well. Use the past progressive for action and progress, and use when and the simple past for an action that interrupts. And you can simply see here the man here. The man was reading a newspaper. This is past progressive. When the thief snatches his briefcase, this is the verb in the past simple or even simple past. All right, those were the references of the lesson. This slide means that we have reached the end. I would like to thank you for your watching. I hope you do enjoy the lesson. And for more information and lessons, please visit our website or even Twitter account, or if you prefer to call, just call us on this number. Thank you again. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now.